Hello, everybody. Welcome to Explore Classroom. My name is Jennifer Bergen. I'm a National Geographic Explorer, and I'm going to be your host today. At National Geographic, we believe that anyone can be an explorer. And that means that you have the power to make a difference in the world no matter how old you are. Explore Classroom is here to inspire you. We want to send you stories from the field and connect you with our National Geographic explorers so you can hear the answers to your questions live. Before we get into today's lesson, I'd like to welcome all of the classes who are joining us today, especially our registered guests. Hello to Hoffman Boston, Arthur Hamilton, Delta Junction, Armijo, and Garrisonville Elementary Schools. We also have Sherwood, Piper Ranch, and Kaiser Law Turn Middle Schools. And then finally, the Fulton School, World Schoolers, and Victorious Homeschool. We are so glad that you are all here with us today. Today, you will be joined by a young explorer named Issa Barte. Issa is a Filipina artist and co-founder of a youth-led organization called For the Future. She is currently working on assembling the first ever Philippine Youth Atlas with a group of friends. And to do this, they are going on a journey across 7,000 islands all over the Philippines to co-create this atlas with young people, using their creativity, imagination, and more to document existing climate solutions within local communities. Some are using art, mapping, and photography. Issa is based in Metro Manila, but her work has connected her with youth in all 17 regions of the Philippines, from Luzon, Visayas to Mindanao. Issa recently returned from the field and has even prepared a travel log to share with all of you. But first, before we do that, let's say hello to our new friend, Issa. Issa, welcome to the show.
Hi, everyone. Hi, good morning to everyone here. I'm so happy to be here with all of you and get to know everyone and discuss really like how we can be change makers in our own home using our imagination and creativity. Yay.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Issa. Can you tell us a little bit about your project? It's called the Philippine Youth Atlas.
Yes. So before I get into what the Philippine Youth Atlas is, maybe I'll explain first what an atlas is exactly. And maybe the kids here have seen one in their local library or their school or their home. And if you've ever picked one up and opened it, an atlas is actually a collection of maps that talk about a place or an ecosystem. And me and my friends loved having that kind of information, but we wanted to put a spin on it. We asked ourselves, what would an atlas look like if it was made for and by young people who can use their creativity and imagination to help us map out the different climate solutions in our home? And we thought that would be so cool. And it was actually that question that set us off on this journey, like what Jennifer said, across the 7,000 islands of the Philippines to work with over 100 young people from indigenous and frontline communities. And what's really cool about it is that when we're done with all our fieldwork, we're gonna have a collection of existing climate solutions from kids all over our country. We're gonna have climate solutions from kids who live near the forest, who say that it's planting trees and protecting the trees that exist in our forest. That's the climate solution. We're gonna have kids who live by the ocean tell us that it's beach cleanups and protecting our coral reefs. That's a climate solution. And what was a really special community that we visited just a few weeks ago was a community called the Talaandig tribe, who is using dance and music and art as a way to tell others about their relationship with nature. And that itself is a climate solution. To use what you love to tell others, like, it is important to protect our world. And yeah, that's what I want to talk about today also, how you, anywhere that you are in the world, can be a change maker to protect your home using what you love.
Issa, this is such an incredible project, and I'm so excited to see what it's been like for you personally, but also to see the individual ways that everyone's authentically participating. And that includes your team as well, because you're not doing this work alone. So how about we follow Issa into the field? We're going to take a look now at the special ways of traveling she and her team have had to make, just so that she can collect all of this for the Atlas and bring it back to us. So let's check out this clip.
Hi everyone, I'm Issa Barte, National Geographic Young Explorer, and right now we're in the shores of Halian Island with the Philippine Youth Atlas team. Yeah! So right now we're gonna be here for the next few days to create the first ever Philippine Youth Atlas, which will be a book co-authored by 700 young people from indigenous and frontline communities all across the Philippine Islands. Come and join us on this trip. Hi everyone, it's Issa. Right now we're in our 6th community, the indigenous tribe of the Agpetabangon community of Prieto Diaz Sorsogon. And right now I'm whispering because it's early morning and we're in the magical mangroves of the Agpetabangon community. In another hour or so, all our youth participants are gonna come in and we're gonna start our art and canvas workshops, and it's gonna be really exciting because they're really gonna be co-authors to the Philippine Youth Atlas, which we're also really excited about. So I'll see you guys later. Saan yung isda? One, two, three, go! Yay!
Balik na. Next step.
Uyugan church na lang. Hindi naman nakikita.
So hi everyone, right now we're in Batanes Island in the northmost part of the Philippines, and with our participants from the Batanes community. And Batanes is one of the northernmost islands in the Philippines, and this is how it looks. And we're here right now reviewing the participants' photos together. Can't wait for you guys to see it in real life.
Oh my God, ang ganda ng bubble.
Yung baka, sabi mo yung baka.
Right now, our participants just submitted their digital cameras. So what they're doing is we're teaching them how to use photography as a means to share their own culture, ecology, and climate solutions within their communities. And then we're gonna collate it, put it together, and yeah, finally have a guidebook for young people just like you and me to navigate the looming climate crisis and to know that there are existing solutions within our local communities. So yeah, see you.
Hey everybody. My school is currently having an earthquake drill. So if you hear some noise, that's what it is. Issa, that was a really incredible journey that you shared with us. And students, you likely noticed that Issa had to do a lot of different things to travel, to connect to all the different communities. So I want you to imagine a place in nature that you would like to visit. Take a minute. All right, do you have that place in your mind? Here is an example from my school in Arlington, Virginia. My students are currently studying the Chesapeake Bay, and I know that some of my students would love to go explore seagrass and oyster beds while on a boat. So how about you? Students, tell your teachers, what is a mode of transportation you would like to use to get to a place in nature you care about? And teachers and families, can you start typing that into the chat? We want to read some of the examples to hear what you think about how explorers travel. All right. Mrs. Fisher's class is really interested in ships and canoes. Ooh, canoes are a lot of work. I hope you've got your arm strength going. It looks like some of our friends from online are talking about flying. Yep, there's jets, there's airplanes, helicopters. Some people, all they have to do is walk. They're actually really close to the natural habitat.
Good morning, all stars. The show is over. We were able to hear it, but great job. Thank you.
Yay, my school did a great job with the earthquake drill. So it looks like some of you are interested in using speedboats. Ooh. We also have more walking, vans. Yeah, if you have a van, then a lot of your peers can join you. A car. Yeah, maybe if your parents have a car, they can drive you. Anything else? Yep, more airplanes. Bikes. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, bicycles can be especially good. All right. Well, thank you so much for your responses. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Issa, we saw that you traveled in a lot of different ways to go to all of these different communities, but we also noticed that you did travel by boat. So that was probably a common thing that you did. Besides a boat, what are some other ways that you travel across the Philippines? And about how long is it taking you to go from place to place?
Well, we usually spend a few days per community, and the travel between each community an hour to a day to get to, depending on where we're going next. But the most special mode of transpo that we've taken was to the Yangel tribe of Zambales, where there's a water buffalo, and what we call the water buffaloes in the Philippines are carabaos. And there's a cart attached to the carabao, and you ride the cart, and the carabao takes you into fields of volcanic ash, rivers, forests, and after about an hour or two, you get to the Yangel village. And I feel like that was the most special mode of transportation.
Are the animals sweet or are they like busy working?
They're both. They're really part of the family of the community, which is really sweet to see. Yeah.
That's special. Some of our viewers have added more modes of transportation. I want to share some we hadn't heard before. We've got snowmobiles, which I'm guessing you might not need in the Philippines.
No, not at all.
Yeah, you won't need snowmobiles. And then, somebody wants to take an RV around. That might be a really cool thing for the more connected areas of the Philippines.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
In your travel log, you included clips from your workshops with some of the youth that are leading these activities within the communities. And I think we've noticed that the youth were drawing, making maps, but also taking pictures. Can you tell us a little bit more about the activities that you do with the youth that you encounter?
Yeah, so we do a lot of workshops with our friends. First is the photography, like you said, where we teach them the basics of photography, then lend them a digital camera. And they're out there taking pictures of their home and their community. And then we do a counter mapping workshop where the kids really create their own map about their area out of their own lived experiences and their own feelings about their home. And we have the drawing workshop, which is really my favorite because the kids can get really, really creative. And some of the questions we ask them are like, what do you think of your nature? What do you think of your community? And what do you want to protect in your home? And how do you want to protect it?
That's really cool. You're making me think, like my teacher mind is like, how can I get my students to make maps? Well, it sounds like your workshops are really engaging. Like everyone is busy, everyone is using their talents, but they're all working it together. What do you say we have a little workshop right now with our live audience? Would that be okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's do it. All right, students. So you'll probably need a minute to think about this. What do you want to protect? You could think about your community, where you live. You could think globally. Maybe there's a larger problem, something you want to protect. I'll give you an example from my students just from yesterday. So I told you we're studying the Chesapeake Bay, and my fifth graders were learning that oyster beds have been really overfished. They were so overfished about 100 years ago, it caused an imbalance, and our bay still hasn't recovered. And because of that, animals have left and the water's not as clean. My fifth graders really want to protect the oysters, specifically the baby oysters called spats. And they want to make people aware of the oysters' needs. So how about you, classrooms? What is it that you want to protect? Go ahead and start entering your answers into the chat. I'd love to share them aloud. All right, Mrs. Fisher's students, there's a big, it's a string, animals, forests, nature. They want to protect us from global warming, specifically coral reefs and rural lands. Hoffman Boston All-Stars want to protect their home, the ocean, and the nature in our area. What about some other groups? Land animals. Thank you, Joseph, for sharing that. Victoria's Homeschool also wants to protect animals. Diane is talking about the ocean. Rencia wants to protect the diversity of our world. Yes, honey, come be with National Geographic. That's one of our mission statements. Lacey's in the Philippines wants to protect mangroves and something called butandings and pawikons. Do you know these, Issa?
Yes, whale sharks and turtles.
Well, I told you earlier, I love the dugong. I want the Philippine dugong to be protected. Let's see, Crafty Crafts has shared endangered animals. Susanna is sharing the rainforest. And someone out there said snakes. Thank you. You and my friend Ru Somawira need to get together and keep protecting those snakes. Let's do one more. Cher in the Philippines wants to protect marine life. Thank you so much for sharing your answers. I'm so heartwarmed by that. Issa, how about you? Does your heart feel like it's bursting?
Yes, and my cheeks are warm. This is so nice.
I know. I feel so inspired by the youth. I kind of get a taste of what your work is like now. So Issa, let's think about the youth in the Philippines. What are some of the things that they want to protect? And maybe you've got some examples from your travels to all the 7,000 islands about what kind of work they're doing.
Yes, oh my gosh, I'm really excited to share this actually.
Show it.
So these are some of the pictures that the communities we work with took actually. Lydian is about 14 years old and she took this with her camera. So this was the volcanic ash that we were talking about a while ago that was being pulled by the water buffaloes in the cart. So this is the ancestral lands of her community called the Yangel tribe. And this is the land that she wants to protect. So we asked them, all the kids actually, take pictures of what you want to protect. And they took pictures of their friends playing in their home. Such beautiful, beautiful pictures. And this one is from Missy Patita, who's from Lake Mambagongon. And her community is actually a village of floating houses within a critical habitat called a marsh. So it's a really, really special place. It's a magical place. And when we asked her, show us what you want to protect, this is the picture that she took. Her friends on the boat with some fish. You can see the fish there on the boat within the marsh trees. So it's a really, really special place. And the kids also drew. So this is from Eliza from the Yangil tribe. So back into the volcanic ash. She said she wants to protect her mountains because she's seen all the trees getting chopped down and everything. So the kids are actually getting really creative and trying to show us the issues of their home. And this is what giving just crayons, a pencil, and paper can do. It can tell us a story. And so we asked them, how do you want to protect it? And this picture is also from Eliza. And she said she wants the how we can protect it is by planting more trees and protecting the trees that we already have. And that's why she filled her mountains up with so many healthy trees. And her community, the Yangil tribe, is actually on the forefront of doing a reforestation program to restore all their mountains with beautiful trees again. And this one is from Christine from Bucas Grande, which is an island in the south of the Philippines. And when we asked her, how do you want to protect your home? She said, if you can see on the bottom left, there's a person cleaning up the environment. And then she said the people by the water, they're also cleaning and enjoying the water. And she said to just keep her environment really tidy. That's what she can do by herself to protect her home, how she can protect her home. So yeah, those are some of the artworks and photographs that our friends took from all across the Philippines. And they're really so special.
I mean, this makes me want to go to the Philippines and do this work with you right now. But like, yes, we can also do this where we live. It's not just in the Philippines.
Yeah, you can do this anywhere in the world. We're just really happy that we can do it here in the Philippines as well.
Well, Issa, thank you for sharing these really beautiful examples. And students, do you remember what you said earlier? The things that you care about protecting? Well, now we want to give you some time to think, how could you protect those things you care about? Issa, I feel like this is a really appropriate time for you to share maybe like a call to action. Like, how could the students who have thought about what they want to protect turn that into an actionable movement in their communities?
Okay. So I'm gonna challenge everyone here today, like how I challenged my friends back here in the Philippines, to use your creativity and imagination to get creative and create a poster showing the place or the people that you want to protect and how you can protect it. And in this way, once you made the poster, you can share it to your community. You can share it to your family and your friends. You can set it up in school maybe and show others that it is possible to protect our world right here, right now.
Well, thank you for that call. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a poster. I hope you will all join me and Issa as we start to share our ideas. Students out there, please share your ideas with your teachers. And, you know, if anyone wants to share an idea they have right now, like what kind of poster you would make, could you share that with us? But also, if now's not the right time and you're like, oh, I need to think about it, you can create a poster and share it with us later. If you email it to explorerclassroom@NGS, that stands for National Geographic Society.org, we'll make sure that we forward it to Issa so that she can see your work. All right, has anyone decided to share with us? Oh, yes, excellent. All right. Mrs. Fisher's class has an idea of making a donation station. I'm assuming Mrs. Fisher's class, that's a place where people can donate to help support and fund the work you want to do and to support what you want to protect. Awesome. Anybody else want to share an action idea that they have? That's okay. Oh, yes, someone else was brave. They want to get out and plant more trees. They want to organize an ocean cleanup. They can model and show people that we have to collect garbage and protect our natural habitats. Yes, Hoffman Boston All-Stars, you're absolutely right. Well, thank you for sharing that. I feel really fired up right now. Oh, we've got some more. Okay. Crafty Crafts has said, we want to get people who live near endangered species to help create acts that preserve them. So maybe like preserve their habitat, such as the Philippine eagle. Yeah. You have to go visit them now since you're technically closer to them than me. Susanna says they want to create an effort to help big companies stop dumping waste into seas, rivers, and lakes. Somebody named Sean wants to use less plastic or encourage people to stop using plastic, period. Another person, Daniel, wants to create online video posts to encourage others. And Theo says when we eat fruits, save the seeds, dry them out so that when we travel to places where they can grow, we can plant those seeds.
Amazing.
Just cutting onions. I'm feeling emotional and so happy right now. Thank you all for sharing these ideas. These are great answers. And remember, we cannot wait to see your artwork. You can share them with us at explorerclassroom@ngs.org. We will forward all of them to our friend Issa. Issa, thank you so much for taking us into the field with you. I think it's time to unleash the students to you. Can we start our question and answer portion now? All right.
Yes.
Let's do it. If you are watching online, you can put your questions for Issa in the chat bar. We record all of them, so you only need to put them once and share who you are and geographically where you're coming in from, because we'd love to give a shout out. If you're an on-screen guest, get your voice nice and ready. Get it loud for Issa, and I'm going to let you know when it's your turn. All right, we've got a question coming in from our online guests. Someone is curious, what kind of tools do you need when you go out into the field?
Okay, I actually have it here. So I believe that everyone's superpower is our imagination and creativity. So this is my tool of choice, a box of crayons. Because I really believe that a box of crayons can help us share our imagination, our thoughts, ideas, and creativity to the world. If I have an idea like the ones that you will have for your posters, then I can use a box of crayons to tell others about it. And I feel like that's a really big superpower.
I mean, I've got boxes. I will pass them out to anyone who needs this superpower tool.
Yes.
We have a question coming in from Crafty Crafts, and they're wondering, do you use photojournalism? Because I feel that if you used photojournalism, your message could spread further.
Yes, I actually also have my camera right here. So that's an amazing question. I started taking pictures because when I started my work as working in an NGO, I really felt that I needed to show other people what was happening on ground. And so the camera was my tool of choice then. And and I can say a picture can really change the world. A story can change time and space when told right. And so that's something that I truly love using as well. And I feel like these are all just tools to really accelerate imagination and creativity in a person. So yeah, thank you for that question.
All right, our YouTube chat is buzzing, wanting to know about this atlas. So Susanna from Garden Spot Middle School is is asking like, what is this atlas going to be like? Can you show it to us? And then Rencia is asking, when will it be released and how can I get it? Just tell us all about this plan with your atlas.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see how it's gonna look like too. But I can tell you how we imagine it to look like by mid next year. We're gonna have a book that's gonna have the photographs from all the kids from all over the Philippines. It's gonna have the maps and the climate solutions. So in your hands will be a book co-authored by 700 young people from all across the Philippines. And we're gonna be going back to each community next year to give back these books to all the kids that co-authored it. So that's also gonna be a really special time next year when we get to visit our friends again. Yeah.
I volunteer to help pass them out.
Yes, please come with the more the merrier. It's gonna be so fun.
So we have a question from someone named Larcy, and Larcy wants to know, do you ever want to partner with me? How can I get in touch with you?
Oh my God.
I bet a lot of people are wondering this, and maybe Larcy's in the Philippines. So how do people reach out to you if they want to partner?
Yeah, the Youth Atlas has an Instagram page, and you can find us at youth.atlas, and you can message us there so our whole team can see like how we can collaborate and work together, because that would be so amazing to have a bigger team to do this kind of work. Yeah, so shoot us a message. We're youth.atlas on Instagram. That would be so fun.
I'm totally following you right now at youth.atlas. Okay, making sure we all got that. Well, we have another question for you. This is coming from Sabrina, and I have a feeling Sabrina was our friend who wants to protect snakes. Do you protect snakes in the Philippines?
I'm sure we do. It's not the biggest conservation effort, but the Philippines is one of the most mega biodiverse countries in the world. So I'm sure that there are snakes to protect here. So thank you for that answer. It's such an interesting question.
We have another question coming out of Garden Spot Middle School. They want to know, besides creating the atlas, what other kinds of things do you do in the Philippines?
Okay, so thank you for that question. I actually work with my youth-run NGO called For the Future, and we do reforestation programs and initiatives with the Yang tribe of Zambales. We sponsor typhoon-affected students and Indigenous kids to go back to school so that they can finish their education. And we also support a lot of like cultural work within the communities that we're partnered with. So our dream is really that, the communities we work with become self-sufficient and keep their culture and traditions intact while progressing, because that's really the dream, to be the best Filipino we can be.
We have another question from Garden Spot Middle. This is coming from Andre, who is curious. Do you keep all of your ideas in a journal? How do you collect your thoughts when you're making these plans?
Andre? Is that from Andre? Oh my gosh, Andre, I really have my journal here. And yes, I do sketch out. You can see I'm like drawing. Oh, can you see it there? I'm drawing my ideas. I'm drawing pictures of my ideas. So yeah, it's really handy to keep a journal if you have a big and wild and fast imagination.
A couple of our viewers are wondering, what kind of special things do you need to do when you're thinking about working with Indigenous communities? Do you plan or do anything different than other communities?
I think for I think it's just baseline for our team to come in any community with respect and curiosity, and just being a decent human being to facilitate good dialogue within the community. Yeah, you know, we're trying to stay away from tokenizing or exoticizing communities. So we just really come in as we are and try to make friends like we usually do in other places.
I think that's a great thing we can all do, whether we're on a playground or we're visiting a new community. That's a great piece of advice, really wise.
Yeah, the goal is to make friends.
Well, everyone, we're running out of time. We're going to do one last question, but remember, you can always take action and use our email address to connect with Issa, as well as the Instagram platform. All right, Issa, so for our final question, what would you want to tell the next generation of explorers that are listening today?
It's really my core belief that you don't need to be anyone else to be a person that can change the world. You can be who you are with everything you love, all the tools that you have, even if it's just a box of crayons, and really make a difference in the world. And it doesn't matter how old or young you are, you have the power to change the world.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us today and just sharing all of this amazing work on behalf of the communities that you work with.
Thank you also for having me. This was so fun. And I can't wait to see all the posters that everyone's going to be making.
Students, thank you so much for your thoughtfulness. And of course, teachers, thank you for bringing your learners to be with us today. If Explore Classroom has inspired you and your students to create something like that poster idea, I'm winking because we want all of you to participate. Please share what you create at Explore Classroom at NGS, that stands for National Geographic Society.org. We've got a really exciting season that's continuing. Today is not the only day where you can get in touch with our amazing collaborative explorers. So please register for more events like the one we had with Issa. Go to natgeo.org/Explore Classroom. And when you register, you can request to be featured on screen. That way you can ask your question live with us. Next week, we have another show. Explorer and citizen scientist Christian Stenner is going to come and share, okay, get this, we have to follow the story. What is it like to visit caves that were created from when volcanoes and glaciers interacted? If that doesn't sound like a movie-worthy topic, I don't know what is. So how are these really different environments colliding and creating something new? I hope you'll register and join us. Have a great day, everyone. Stay curious, keep exploring, make those posters and share them with us, and we'll see